Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Envoy with me, Benedict. Let's continue scouting out the city outskirts.
Yes. Just a little walk. What's the plan?
Really had the advantage there.
Sure.
You got some very mediocre loot.
Gotcha.
Only got one path available to take, which may split into more paths.
Sure.
Sure, why not?
Looks like they were trying to force their way through the outpost. These poor people.
Let's get going.
Alright, those are League soldiers. Let's avoid them. Maybe Benedict will give us a pat on the back for this optional objective. Unsent letter. Melody. When you receive this letter, I'll already be done with the shipping process. I plan on staying in the City of Bones for a while, so you can address your reply there. I don't know when I'll head home yet. It probably depends on how well the deal goes. Elven jewelry sells like water in the desert. It's insane that even so far away from League's territories, people crave their accessories this desperately. Don't get me wrong, they are quite nice, but I see nothing extraordinary about them. There's nothing that would justify the outrageous license fees we normally have to pay. Thankfully, we're far away from League territory here, so far from civilization. What are the odds of meeting anyone that would know the difference between my budget earrings and some posh original ones? It's not like they're going to ask to see the license. The remaining part of the letter is ruined by the water. Illegible.
Gotcha.
Well, we know why the letter was unsent.
Sure.
Desert takes yet more lives.
What's with the temperature here? I'm sweating my clothes off.
It is significantly hotter here, but please spare me the details. Sounds interesting.
Elemental presence significantly impacts the environment, making wildfires a common occurrence. Nothing like
Sure.
fire in the desert.
Sure, why not? Here I come.
Sure.
We're completely obliterating these guys. It's
Here they are.
very satisfying.
You asked for this.
Some more ore. Healing fountain
Just a
we don't
little
need, and some loot. Ooh, Veil of Shadows. Critical damage plus 10%, and Shadow Apprentice. Applies invisibility on the wearer while out of combat. On breaking invisibility, gain plus 10% critical chance, plus 50% critical damage, plus 20% dodge chance for 10 seconds. Only lasts the first 10 seconds of combat.
Gotcha.
Which may be all you need if you're going for a crit build. Like most fights last longer than that, especially the ones that have enemy reinforcements coming in.
Let's get going.
Unusual vines.
What did you learn from those wretches?
They seemed to know little of interest. They were headed toward a place called City of Bones, and claimed to have never encountered any of our expedition forces in their travels.
Useless vermin. We shall continue our search then. Maybe the dwellers of this City of Bones will prove more informative.
If I may, Commander, do you believe we can still find the missing squad in this cursed desert? It may take months to find their trail.
If they believe their research here could help us win this war, then it is our duty to find out what happened and continue their task if necessary. I don't care how long it takes. We will find these ancient ruins, even if you have to dig them up yourselves.
Are they talking about these ruins we sealed off?
Shh, listen.
Understood, sir. What should we do with the prisoners?
They're worthless scum. Slay them and leave them to rot.
You hear that, Kayla? We've got to do something. We can't let them kill these people.
Wait, Mel. Maybe they can be reasoned with. We know what they're looking for, and we may be able to use it as leverage.
Yeah, and we know exactly what they'll find there. We should have destroyed that archive when we had the chance. Do you really want to reason with these murderers?
No, but we have to think this through. There's too much at stake. What if the League finds out we attacked them? What if they blame our city?
Well, we have to do something, and we better think fast.
That does seem like I'll be siding with Kayla most of the time. Also, I didn't realize his scarf came out the center of his back. It looks a little silly. So we can tell them about the archive, but we did take the generator. Yeah, we should take the more diplomatic route, I would think. Now tell soldiers about the archive.
Stop! Who goes there?
Please, I only ask for an audience. We mean you no harm. My brother and I were sent here by the city council to find the merchants you've captured. I believe they're of no use to you.
And why should I listen to you, human? I could kill you where you stand. But please, entertain me. What could you possibly hope to gain by intruding in my outpost?
You...
I wish to exchange the hostages for the information you seek.
You've gained my attention. Go on.
We've been to the ruins you spoke of. We found a group of League soldiers and researchers killed by the Empire. If you release the people and let us go, we can mark this place on your maps. No one else needs to suffer.
And why should I believe you?
Because you know that any lead is better than running blindly around the desert?
And we're not dumb enough to feed you bad intel and risk you coming to our city.
I see. Your conditions are acceptable. Very well, release the captives. But if there is even a hint of a lie in your words, I will find this dump you call home and burn it to the ground.
Yeah, nice meeting you too.
I mean, we could have just taken them out and called it a day. 'Cause now when they get there, they could find out that we took the generator and attack us anyway.
Sure.
Ooh, an Elven Tower Shield. Mana regen plus 0.5 per second, skill power plus 3%. That's a little lackluster. Block chance plus 20%, max mana plus 10, max mana plus 2%, damage to wounded health minus 15%, and reflex skill plus 20%. Do we have a wand or rod for her? I still can't give up that plus 22% skill power. As much as I want to. So less block chance, less skill power. We gain mana regen and max mana. And better reflex skill. I think the skill power may be more important.
Are you all right? You're free to go now.
Thank you so much. Please, allow me to compensate you for your trouble. We wouldn't be able to carry all this without a cart anyway. Now, is the way clear?
Don't worry. We'll show you how to get to the city safely.
Yeah, because it's definitely not clear.
I don't understand. Why would the League soldiers be so cruel to these people? The elves I met before never acted with even the slightest disdain toward humans.
Maybe the old saying is right. And war really does bring out everyone's true colors. Sure makes you wonder, doesn't it?
About what?
Just what the League is capable of. You know, there may be some truth to the Empire's accusations against them.
There's much we do not know about this war, and I'd have preferred it to stay that way. Let's get out of here. We need to report what we found out.
With 300 gold. Also important to note that Malachi is sneaking around the desert at night with glow sticks strapped to his belt and whatever this thing is. Alright, looks like we're done here. Pretty lackluster stats across the board because we avoided most of the fights. But Benedict should be happy.
Gotcha.
And if we get as much experience as we did for the last quest, if not more, then we'll level up again as well. I'm a little hesitant to start selling the purple stuff just yet, in case we get another companion. Do I want to buy the blueprints, or do we get those blueprints to the research tree? Yeah, so you get the Imperial Pistol here. Let's do the cardio training. That's a permanent bonus for all characters, movement speed +1. And we'll also grab the Marauder weapons too, which unlocks the axe, bow, crossbow, hammer, polearm, prism, rifle, staff, and sword.
Sounds interesting.
Let's hope that this guy's name isn't implying anything. Like Benedict Arnold.
So, Benedict, we scouted the League's outpost, but it didn't go as smoothly as we planned.
I heard. The survivors have already reached the city. Thank you for bringing these people here safely. They've suffered enough.
I just hope we didn't make things worse with the League.
Oh, who cares? Let them come if they want. We'll be ready.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that. Don't beat yourself up over it, though. You were right to interfere. But the day's not over yet, and the city needs your services again. Go talk to your parents when you're ready. I'll see you there.
Yep, over double the experience from the last quest.
Just a little walk.
Alright. What next? Probably power. Yeah, so at 15 we get the weapon skill. Well, for him, I might do speed. I don't think he has a weapon skill. I think the weapon skill attached to multi-shot is a passive. Let's do speed. That'll synchronize really well with weak point and the multi-shots passive. Stun and daze effects. Could max out our turret. I'm thinking weak point 3 instead. That'll eat up both points, but it gives us more consistent crowd control. So the stun chance goes up by 2%, and vulnerable chance goes up by 20%. I like some more skills. So armor transference. Each time you use a summon skill, gain plus 20 armor for 20 seconds. This effect can stack. Or discharge sphere. Creates a sphere at the target area that charges over 2 seconds and then discharges violently, dealing 100 shock damage to all enemies within 3 meters. Inflicting confused for 20 seconds, stun for 2 seconds, and pushing them away with weak force. Status synergy, confused, deals additional 50 shock damage and inflicts stun for 6 seconds on enemies with confused. Then we'll do... Well, mastery, oh no, that's a tough choice. Mastery is probably also worth it on Malachi for the 15-point bonus, which I'll read once we unlock it. Skill power or mana regen, what I'm looking at for her. Let's go skill power. If we hit hard enough, we don't need the mana regen. So we could max out mana shield, which is probably worth it. We do rely on ice bolts for kind of an alpha strike. Then we clean up most of the trash enemies with freeze spike. Yeah, let's go do Ice Bolts 4. So, it adds 1 extra Ice Bolt. Does the same damage. Well, technically it does 30 more damage since it's an extra bolt. And everything else is the same. She unlocks Weapon Boost, gain 50% weapon damage, but attacks cost -1 mana. Mana cost increases ×2 for two-handed weapons. And Firewall 1. Endures a wall of flames and a 12-meter drawn path that deals 20 burn damage to all enemies and inflicts shaken for 20 seconds. Burning surface remains for 6 seconds, dealing 10 burn damage per second and inflicting burn at 10%. A status energy, vulnerable. The surface deals additional 10 burn damage per second to enemies with vulnerable.
You're back. Good. I'm afraid you'll have no time to rest, though. The council has voted to increase the defenses around the city, and we need you to recover some supplies we've stashed in case of an emergency.
A supply run? Isn't there something more important we should be doing?
We've sent some people there already, but they refuse to go down. They say there's a monster dwelling in the old caves. Benedict promised to look into it.
I feel that we should cover his back.
I wouldn't request it willingly, but it's a clear recommendation from the city council.
We're on it.
Okay, Benedict is a warrior, and he's joined our party. A new companion has joined your party. I suspected as much. We could see his class when we hovered over his model in the city. A longtime family friend, Benedict is a good-natured and reliable man. A former Empire soldier, he now spends his days as the head of the city guards in the City of Bones.
Sure.
Alright, let's give him some new stuff. These should all just be straight upgrades. They could do with a new weapon.
Sure, why not?
Ooh, Plate of Thorns. So max health plus 50, armor plus 15%, damage wounded health minus 15%, and shard armor. Deals damage per second equal to 0.2 of the wearer's armor to enemies within 2 meters of them. I can almost afford it. Not sure if it's worth it, but it sounds and looks cool. And it gives him some scaling damage. Or what's he got? Let's reset all of that. So let's focus on endurance with him. Right? I'm gonna make him into a tank. Let's reset everything and start from scratch. So he starts with dash. Charge the direction and the target direction, dealing 40 physical damage and inflicting shaken for 20 seconds on all enemies in your path. At destination, taunt 4 seconds, all enemies in a 2-meter radius. Status energy shaken, deals additional 40 physical damage and inflicts knockdown for 3 seconds on enemies with shaken. And Iron Skin, gain 100 magic shield and plus 30 armor for 15 seconds. That'll scale with the shard armor effect on his current armor. We have Mana Siphon. Each time you attack with a melee weapon, gain 0.2 mana regen for 5 seconds. This effect can stack. A mana gain increases times 2 for two-handed weapons. Martial Training, gain 10% melee damage. Weapon damage, sorry. And throw axe. There's an axe at the target enemy dealing 60 physical damage and inflicting. They should be inflicting. Weakness for 10 seconds, vulnerable for 20 seconds, generates high threat. And status energy, vulnerable, deals additional 60 physical damage and inflicts weakness for 10 seconds, bleed for 10 seconds on enemies with vulnerable. I may as well grab that. And I'm thinking... so we have Steel Skin as an upgrade for Iron Skin or Liquid Skin. Steel Skin, gain 125 magic shield and 40 armor for 15 seconds. Versus Liquid Skin, gain 100 magic shield and 20% weapon damage for 15 seconds. I'm going to go with the armor. I do think that's suboptimal. More damage is probably better. But with the shard armor effect, I'm going to try and lean into that. And just keep stacking as much armor as I can. What does the upgrade for this do? More damage. And the taunt lasts longer. Alright, with that, we unlocked Healing Pulse. Projects a restorative pulse, healing 150 HP to the caster and all allies within 5 meters. Frenzy attacks gain a plus 0.2% attack speed for each 1% of your HP that is missing. Shield Mastery, gain plus 15% magic shield from equipped items. High Wall. Raises a stone wall along a 10-meter drawn path that blocks range attacks and prevents movement for 10 seconds. Tower of Time had a similar skill. I think healing, especially with the taunt, is a good idea. And shield mastery. I really like the magic shield effect, so I'm going to lean into that a bit more. Make it more defensive. We unlocked Strong Will. Gain plus 4% max health and plus 8% tenacity. And Stomp. Creates a blast wave around the caster, dealing 70 physical damage and inflicting Shaken for 20 seconds on all enemies within 3 meters. Status Energy Shaken deals additional 40 physical damage to enemies with Shaken. I assume it's called physical damage. I haven't actually confirmed what the fist means. I think more health. Again, I'm going to make him just a pure tank because I don't really have one. And that'll open her up a bit too, because she shouldn't have to tank for us. I'll probably do away with this. I'll have to have that. I was thinking we could do fire weapons, now that we have an extra ally. Let's just max that out. Maybe not.
Gotcha.
We'll keep the magic shield just in case. Let me rearrange some stuff.
Sounds interesting.
Let's get going.
Either way, that's pretty exciting. Finally got another companion. I feel like it took a little too long for that. I have two options, a Dune Sweeper Citadel or the Dune Henge. City Mines, of course. A new description here for Dune Sweeper Citadel. There's something thrilling about walking down the same paths the ancients did back in the day. They didn't allow outsiders in. Now we invited ourselves. They're both small, but this one is easy, so we'll go here first. And we can start looking at grabbing...
Gotcha.
Green and blue items, since Benedict needs just a ton of upgrades. Alright, I'm gonna call it here, and next time we will take care of this is Dune Sweeper Citadel, right? I think so. And possibly the other locations, since they're both supposed to be small. But either way, for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.